welcome to Homestead Corner. I'm Jenny, and today we are going to whip up pepper steak and rice meal in a jar. So we love to have emergency meals on the shelf ready to go. I put them in mason jars, but these can also be done in your Mylar bags as well, and which makes them packable and lightweight. I like the jars for my pantry. We do some in Mylar bags, so we have them for on the go for those emergency bags. They're also wonderful for camping, or if you don't feel like cooking. You know, sometimes you just don't feel like it. You're too dang tired and you just want to slap something together and eat real quick. These work wonderful for that as well. It is always great to rotate your stash in your pantry. So today we're just going to dig into our emergency foods and whip up pepper steak meal in a jar with rice. And I'm just going to use some freeze-dried beef, some freeze-dried tomato dices, bell peppers, tomato powder, instant rice. You can use regular rice for this. It's totally up to you. Whatever you have on hand, use that. And we're going to use a few spices from the pantry. So let's go ahead and get started. We love putting together these meals in a jar because they are so quick and simple. You've got those emergency meals ready to go on the pantry shelf, and it takes no time at all. You can literally do 20, 30 of these in an hour or two. Just if you've got some extra time, that is a great time to just whip them up, and you can do tons of them all at once. So we're going to get started with 1 cup of beef. I'm using freeze-dried, but you can definitely use your dehydrated beef for this as well. You could use ground beef for this also. That would work. And but you're going to want, if you're using ground beef, either freeze-dried or dehydrated, it takes a little bit longer for them to rehydrate. So you're just going to want to let it sit in the water a little bit before you start cooking it. So 1 cup of beef in each jar. And then we're going to add 1 cup of diced tomatoes, and these can be freeze-dried or dehydrated as well. Both are going to work in this. We really love having these in there. It gives it just a nice texture instead of just the tomato powder. So we're going to add 1 cup of those diced tomatoes in there. And then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of bell peppers. These are kind of big chunks, and they're freeze-dried, dehydrated. Works wonderfully for these as well. Pretty much anything dehydrated or freeze-dried. We want about 1/2 cup in each jar. And then we're going to add some tomato powder. I'm going to put about 1/4 cup in each jar. And this is going to give it a nice little sauce and give it that good tomatoey sauce that we all love. And we really like that in there. Just about 1/4 cup. Now we're going to start putting our seasonings in. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of beef bouillon. And you can use any kind of beef bouillon you have. If you were going to use cubes, I would put about 3 in there. And these are tablespoons. I can't remember if I said tablespoons or teaspoons because my brain, you know, sometimes it's crazy. Well, most of the time. So 3 tablespoons of beef bouillon in each jar. Okay, and then we're going to do about 2 tablespoons of minced onions, 1 to 2, depending on how you like it. We like a lot of onions in this house, so I'm going to put 2 in here just so I know it's got some good flavor. Time to fill that bad boy up. All right, and then we're going to do about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Oh, about that much. I don't have a teaspoon out, but that's okay. We can guess it. And as little or as much as you want. If you want more, you can add more. Your seasonings really are to taste. So whatever it is that you like, use that. And then I'm just going to add about a good healthy pinch of pepper, maybe 1/4 teaspoon in there, just so there's a little pepper. We like pepper. And I'm not going to add any salt because the bouillon is quite salty. And now we are going to put a plastic bag in the top of each jar because we're going to cook our rice separately when we make this. It's going to be served over a bed of rice. So we're just going to put our baggie right in here. And you can bang your jars down to make a little bit more space if you need to, because we're going to put a whole cup of rice in this jar. So I'm going to use my instant rice that I made in the dehydrator. You can use regular rice for this. This is going to take about 15 minutes to cook. If you're using ground beef, freeze-dried or dehydrated, that's going to take a little bit longer. So you could definitely use just your regular white rice. So it takes about the same amount of time. But we're just going to go in and add about a cup of rice to our little baggie. I'm just going to fill that right up like that. And then I'm going to take my bag and I'm going to pull it out and just squeeze all that air out and seal it. So you can use sandwich bags for this. It does not have to be a zipper seal bag. A little baggie is going to work. You're going to vacuum seal your jars anyway, or seal it in your Mylar bag. So we're just going to push this down in there, and that is our whole meal. Okay, so once we're done and we have our jars filled, you can add an oxygen absorber, put your lid and ring on, and it will seal itself. You can vacuum seal these. You could add a desiccant if you're using dehydrated foods. A lot of times I put a desiccant in there just to make sure that if there's any moisture. But right now we're going to take one of these over to the stove and cook it up. Okay, to get started, I'm just going to pull my rice out, and we're going to cook our rice separately. And I just cook my instant rice 1 to 1, 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of water. So we're going to start that in a small saucepan on the side, and then we're going to take our jar and we're going to pour it right into our pan on a medium-high heat. We want to bring this up to a boil, and I'm going to add about 3.5 cups of water to this, and this is going to get it all rehydrated and delicious. So we're just going to give this a good stir. With powders, I like to use a whisk to make sure that there are no clumps or anything like that, just to get this started. And we just want to bring this right up to a rolling boil. Okay, so once we have this up to a good rolling boil, I'm going to turn this down to a simmer. And we're going to simmer this for, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes until we get this reduced down to the amount of sauce that you like, till it gets to that thickness that you like, because this will be all rehydrated in about 10 minutes of cooking, but we just want to make sure that sauce is where we like it. So if you like it a little thinner, it won't take quite as long, but if you like it a little thicker, just keep cooking it till it gets to the right thickness for you. So we're just going to let this simmer, give it a stir here and there, and just keep our cover on this so it is just cooking away. We've got our rice going, and that will be ready in just a few minutes. All right, so I'm going to turn this off. This is about where we like it for thickness on the sauce. I like a little bit of that, a little saucy, so when I put it over the rice, it gets all in there and makes it yummy. So we're just going to let this sit for a couple of minutes, and then we'll plate this up. And that's it. This meal is so simple and easy to put together. You do have to cook the rice separately, but I mean, you could put it in if you just want to mix it right in. You just add that extra cup of water to it, and it'll all cook together. We really like this. It's nice. It's got a little bit of sauce in it, not too much, but just enough so it gets right in that rice and everything is there. Love that. What a good flavor with the peppers, and I just love peppers and beef and anything like that. And that's it. Dig into your preps, whip up some super easy emergency meals, You'll have them when you need them. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.